British teenage girl and her younger brother are left to fend for themselves in the Australian outback when their father shoots at them, burning the family car before taking his own life. A drastic change from their life of privileges, the siblings find their journey across the landscape becoming increasingly challenging, unprepared for the heat, distance and exhaustion, rationing the scant little food they have remaining from a prior picnic. When they encounter a young Indigenous teenager who is undertaking a walkabout, the spiritual process of learning about and connecting with the land, the siblings discover an understanding of the world not available from the comfort of their previous routines. This is Nicolas Roeg's classic film Walkabout, a demonstration of Roeg's unique approach to filmmaking that reinforced his classic works as masterpieces of postmodern cinema. By creating earthy textures, exploring foreshadowing with imagery reminiscent of faint memories, and crafting detailed visual impressions through precise and critical juxtapositions between Indigenous tradition and British colonialism, Nicolas Roeg managed to masterfully weave a tale of the harrowing impact of colonisation within Australia, as well as the urge to reconnect with the land and people. As many Nicolas Roeg fans will recognise, Walkabout is an excellent demonstration of what made Nicolas Roeg's directorial style so alluring, elusive and memorable. With Nicolas Roeg also serving as the film's cinematographer, Walkabout boasts a rich tapestry of texture, the sand dunes, the cracked earth, the everlasting heat, enhancing the film's visual impressions, which creates foreshadowing as if like a flash of an intrusive thought, such as the early images of a desert landscape that briefly erupts during the scenes unfolding at the heart of the westernisation present in the city centre. Roeg's visual style is often impressionistic, suspending narrative convention in favour of sensory immersion and visceral connection into the parts of the world he presents to us. The results are nothing short of profoundly hallucinatory, skirting between contrasts with the beautiful and the deadly. A key contrast within Walkabout is a demonstration of a cultural clash, white privilege, wealth and status, which the siblings have become accustomed to, living on a land colonised by their ancestors, contrasts against the practicality, the survivalism and the spirituality of the Indigenous folk living on the land that belongs to their heritage. The wisdom of the experience within the outback wilderness, present in the Indigenous teenager, is a stark opposite to the mental wilderness of a sheltered life that has never been expected to fend for itself. Even the language barriers between the siblings and the Indigenous teenager, no character is named in this film, one of the aspects that transcends language barriers, serves as a drastic contrast between Indigenous life and a life born of colonisation. There's a reason why this comparison is so significant within Walkabout, which Roger Ebert highlighted within his review of the film, stating that the film is deeply pessimistic. It suggests that we all develop specific skills and talents in response to our environment, but cannot easily function across a broader range. It is not that the girl cannot appreciate nature, or that the boy cannot function outside his training. It is that all of us are the captives of environment and programming, that there is a wide range of experiment and experience that remains forever invisible to us, because it falls in a spectrum we simply cannot see. Ebert suggests that, within the contrast of differences between the white siblings and the Indigenous teenager undergoing the process of his walkabout, humanity faces limitations set by what we're unable to learn due to our environments, our circumstances, and that also includes a perspective we're unable to live within. While Ebert reads this as pessimistic, and maybe it is, due to the indication that we can't know everything about everything if it's outside the range of our socialization, this sense of contrasting lived experiences also invites illumination towards perspectives not our own that we should consider. Nicolas Roeg aims to do this with Walkabout, especially as he emphasises the differences between Indigenous culture and the British colonisation of Australia, illuminating the difference in attitudes towards the land and the planet. This is present in scenes such as when the boy and the Indigenous teen discover the road, startling the teenager but offering hope to the boy, an alien strip invading the outback landscape, a symbol of a familiar urbanisation, or a scene of the teenager hunting being interrupted by the arrival of white poachers who hunt for a thrill rather than survival. Whereas the indigenous way of hunting becomes compared to the work of a butcher, a similarity that demonstrates another technique for the acquisition of food as a resource. When presented as a contrast with the violent joy of the poachers, the implication of the hunt is that of incompatibility. The poachers are not interested in the preservation of the land, nor even understanding it, similar to the methods of eradication of indigenous communities utilised by colonisers claiming the land for themselves. A similarity between the indigenous teenager and the siblings arises, presented as a universal experience, which is the end of adolescence. The teenager undergoes the walkabout to learn the ways of the land, entering his manhood. The girl has been pushed into a role of protector and provider for her younger brother, forcing her to grapple with responsibilities she hasn't previously faced, an end to her childhood. Within this universality, Roeg considers that there's still an understanding we can share with perspectives and lived experiences differing from our own. As the girl returns to the city, growing up, she still remembers, maybe even longs for her time in the outback, when she realised that she was no longer a child. There is a profundity in this universal experience that almost everyone will share, whether it's through the process of an indigenous cultural event, such as Walkabout, or it's the encouragement of adaptability from the conventionally spoilt. Colonisation doesn't erode the necessity to grow as a person. In conclusion, Nicolas Roeg's Walkabout invites consideration into the complexities of language barriers, culturally differing lived experiences, and the universality that transcends across varying perspectives. Rich in thematic meaning, visual texture, and ambiguity, Walkabout becomes an immersive trek through arid landscapes into the pursuit of earthly understanding and adaptability, which will leave the characters changed for life. A special thank you to my incredible tier Patreon supporters Gil and Jared Spears of Concessions, as well as my super tier Patreon supporters Sportzilla and Audio KZ.